Hi there, I'm Mike Gales for Everlast Nutrition, and in this video we're going to go over basic blocking techniques for boxing. Now my friend who's going to help me out in this video has just started boxing a couple weeks ago, and he wants to try some sparring to burn some extra calories. But first he's going to need to learn the mantra that every boxer knows, and that's how to protect yourself at all times. Now if you're already an advanced fighter, then maybe this video isn't for you. In which case I thank you for checking out this video anyway, but you probably already know all the things I'm about to show you. But if you're anything like my friend here, this is what you need to know. First, you're going to want to make yourself a smaller target by assuming a proper boxing stance. And I'll put a link about how to do that in the description below. But basically, you're going to have your lead hand angled towards the center of your opponent. Have your weight evenly distributed between both legs. Keep both your hands and your shoulders up high. Protect your face from any punches that you might not see coming. And don't flare out your elbows too much. Try to keep them in towards your body as much as you can. Now that you know how to stand, and before you even block a single punch, your first question should be, where is it exactly that you should be looking? I know what you're thinking. Duh, you stupid dummy. Obviously I should be looking directly at his hands. But you are what I like to call wrong. I like to use this little analogy of looking straight down at the lines on the road while you're driving. Do that and they seem to be moving awfully quick. But look up ahead and use your peripheral visions to look at the line, and they seem to be moving quite slow, even though you're moving at the exact same speed. Well, the same thing goes here. If you look directly at the punches, you're going to get punched in the face. So I suggest that you look at your opponent's upper chest, and you're going to see everything by using your peripheral vision to pick up the punches. And I know you heard Mr. Miyagi say, always look eye, but in close quarters you're never going to see your opponent's eyes unless you look up, which is going to expose your face. And so, trust me on this, keep your eyes fixed on your opponent's upper chest and you're going to see everything. And you'll even find that over a period of time that your brain is going to recognize certain movements of his upper chest as being specific punches. Okay, so to start off, let's block a jab. And for the purposes of this video, I'm going to pretend that your opponent is not a southpaw. Your opponent is going to throw his jab towards your face. And to block it, you're going to put your rear, and let me emphasize rear hand, open and in front of your face. I turn my hand open so that it takes up more space, but I do not block my vision. I also make sure that I keep my lead hand up high, just in case there's a right hook or a cross following that jab. You need to also make sure that your rear hand is stiff when it comes out to meet the jab, or else he's going to punch right through it. I also put my hand only a couple inches in front of my face, and that's an important point. You want to let the punches come to you, because if you don't and you try to catch the punches out in front of you, for one, you're going to decrease your reaction time, and two, some of those punches might get through your outstretched hands and hit you in the face. So as the jab comes in, you put your hand in front of your face to kill it. Nothing fancy, just have your rear hand firm, palm open, and right in front of your face to kill the jab. Next up, let's block a straight right hand. You may see some other tutorials out there that block the straight right by using the lead hand like so. And you could do that, but I find your opponent then has good leverage to throw a left hook right through the middle of your guard. So in a perfect world, I block the straight right hand the same way as I block the jab, using my rear hand as I take a small step to the outside to cut off the angle and the leverage of a follow-up shot. I also then have my lead hand to fire counter jabs or a counter hook back. But the world is not always perfect, and sometimes the straight comes in too fast or behind a jab or a double jab, or from an awkward angle. And I'm left with this second option, where I place my lead hand against my head, and I use it as a shock absorber, and I rotate my shoulder to cut off the angle directly to my face. This will happen often when a straight follows a jab, a double jab, or a left hook. If I try to catch the punches like they do in the Matrix, I guarantee you that I'm going to get punched in the face. So here I catch the jab or a double jab with my rear hand, and then I place my lead hand up against my head as a shock absorber and cut the angle to block the shot. Okay, so let's move on to blocking a left hook to the head. Now I know once again we've all seen those old karate flicks where people block the hooks like so. And don't get me wrong, I love those old movies. But realistically, by putting my arm all the way out there, I'm giving my opponent openings and he's going to find a way around my outstretched guard. So what you want to do as your opponent throws a left hook to the head is to raise your rear hand and shoulder up to limit the amount of soft target exposure, which basically means that a punch landing on my glove's form or shoulder is a much better option than having the punch land on my face or my head. So I'm going to keep my hand up against my head, and it's going to act as a shock absorber as I let the punches come to me. I do not go out to meet them. My arm just slides up against my head. I shrug up my shoulder, I keep my elbows in as close as possible, and most of all, I don't block my vision and I keep my eyes on that upper chest of my buddy here. Okay, so how about a left hook to the body? Now, many beginners have a habit of covering up their body like this, and this will definitely block a shot to the body, no doubt. What's going to happen if there's a quick follow-up to the head? Or if you predicted that it was going to be a body shot, but it happened to come a little bit higher than expected. Now, maybe in your case, you have some super quick reflexes, and for you it won't matter. But for most of us, it's going to be a better option to keep our hands up as high as possible, just in case. So what you might want to do, keep your hands high and shift your torso towards the incoming shot to cut off the angle. Have the punch land on your arms rather than hitting the soft target of your body. Now, once again, do not go out to meet the punch. You need to let it come to you. And you want to angle your torso to cut off the shot to the body and catch the punches on your arm. Blocking a right hook to the head. The principle will be pretty much the same as blocking the left hook to the head. Let the punch come to you as you raise your lead arm up. Keep it tight against your head and shrug your shoulder up. Try to cover up as much area as possible. You want your arms and shoulders to act as shock absorbers to kill the punch. Remember to keep your eyes on your opponent, but use your peripheral vision to pick up the shots. Blocking a right hook to the body. Remember, unless you got spider reflexes, then don't block body shots like this. You want to angle your torso towards that incoming shot to cut off the angle, so that way the shot lands on your arms and not to the body. This way you can keep your hands up high enough to block combinations if you need to. So keep your hands up as high as possible. There is no doubt that they're going to come down a little bit once you block the punch to the body, but they should still be up high enough to make blocking combinations to the head much, much easier. So how about blocking uppercuts? Uppercuts are tricky little shots, and you may see a lot of people trying to block the uppercuts with their palms facing downward and their arms outstretched. Now that may work if the uppercuts were flown from a distance, but the problem is that uppercuts are usually very short range shots, and the more that you outstretch your arms, the higher the chance that the punch is going to pass through your guard and hit you in the face. So from a distance, you could try and block the uppercuts with your rear hand, have your palm facing down, and only slightly in front of your face. But I always prefer to simultaneously shift my torso in a similar manner that you block the body shot, and then also rotate it at the same time, so that I cut the angle of any uppercuts splitting my guard. So keep both hands up high and tight, then angle your torso but also rotate, and that will have the uppercuts landing on your elbows and your forearm and not your face, because you have now cut off the angle of the uppercuts being able to come from underneath and split your guard. Blocking combinations. To block combos, you can use all the individual blocks in this video and string them together. Don't worry, with some practice and some repetition, your brain is going to begin to recognize certain patterns of movements, and that's really going to help you to predict which punch is actually being thrown at you. The most important principle is to relax and stay calm and to keep your eyes on your opponent. And remember to use your peripheral vision so you can actually see which punches are coming. Now, even the best in the world can't predict all the punches being thrown in a quick combination, and so sometimes you're going to have to shell up and cover up to protect as much area as humanly possible. I know this video is getting a little long, and I'm sorry about that, but let's take a quick look at your defensive shell. This is when you use your arms and your shoulders to cover up as much area as possible. Think of yourself as being a turtle, where you raise up your hands, you keep your gloves tight against your head, your elbows staying close to your body, and you shrug up your shoulders. You want to keep your eyes on your opponent, and if he's about to start blasting you, you don't want to just sit there. So move your head or your feet to get out of the way, and try and get to a safe distance so that you can reset. Well, you're not all Ali who can pull off a rope-a-dope, so once again, don't just sit there and let someone blast on you. One last little thought, try not to shell up or block your punches while you back up in a straight line. Your opponent can generate more force going forward, and he can also move forward faster than you can go backwards. So for that reason, it's not wise to block punches or shell up going backwards in a straight line. So instead of going straight back, it's preferable to pivot off to an angle. Also, contrary to what your brain may be telling you, if your opponent is about to start blasting you with shots that you're not going to see, it's actually going to be safer to shell or block the punches, moving towards your opponent so that you can smother his shots. This has been Mike Gales for Everlast Nutrition, and please click below to like and subscribe, as we're constantly posting out great tips, ideas, and advice to get you into the absolute best shape possible.